Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Beautiful day. I got out in the woods a little bit more. I just came back from getting my eyes checked, and funny thing about insurance, you sit there and you might get to see the doctor, whether it be eye doctor, whether your dentist, your regular MD, right there, just a few miles from you. You see them real. You don't have to get up, drive a whole lot of distance, or you might have to drive a long distance. And basically, all I really wanted was to get myself a new pair of safety glasses. The one I got the prescription pair I got are kind of losing. The nose pads are going down, and had them for a few years. I thought maybe it's time to go get myself a new pair. And all I was at, I got myself another pair of the everyday glasses, except they're not transition. So walk down here a little bit. There's some people over here. I don't want to impeach onto their privacy, so I'm just gonna come down here. Here's a nice little brook. There we go. I love them to make these cameras so where I can hit the button and switch from selfie mode to right out in front without messing up the video. But I don't know, maybe that technology will come. About being out in the wilderness, be out in the nature. Right now I am kind of in the middle of the Green Mountain National Forest. I'm on a little river access. People can go and do some fishing and maybe cool off in the water. Right now, I'm going to tell you right now, the water's iceberg cold. It really hasn't had much of a time to warm up, so yeah, so I wouldn't really, maybe lay next to the water, walk out a little bit, splash a little on you, and that's about it. I wouldn't go diving into it. But there's something about being out in the woods, primarily for men. Like I said, it just seems like camping and hiking has been on the uptick for the last few years, and actually probably the last several years. People just going out and being one with nature, and I know a lot of women do it, a lot of ladies do it, and they, I don't know what their purpose, but I think for a lot of us men, I think it's more of a primal thing. When you look at the book of Genesis, second chapter, God made Adam out of the earth, made man out of the earth, out of the dust. And sounds like they might be coming. We'll go there when they leave. But yeah, people sit there and, like I said, Adam, wind's picking up a little bit. Like I said, this was kind of a spontaneous video. So I don't have a microphone to keep close and to keep out of the wind. But it's not bad. Oh, it's beautiful. But man came from the ground. Woman came from man's rib. So we do have a tie to nature. We do have a tie to the earth. And so when I hear people talking about, grounding and being, just being out in nature and becoming one with nature, I can understand that. I kind of get it. I think it's a bit on the biblical side. Like I said, man came from the earth. And I think that's why so many of us, particularly men, we're just drawn to the woods. We're drawn to nature. I myself, I'm always getting criticized by friends and family. I'm notorious for doing some solo hiking. Well, I try not to do anything super extravagant, like do a 3-4 day hike, on the Appalachian Trail or on the Long Trail. Which, by the way, we're not far from the Long Trail. It's just right up the road here. Not very long. And No, we just, I think it's a way for us to get away from technology, to get away from society, to clear our heads, to think clearly, to just enjoy being with oneself, especially if you're having issues in life. Like maybe you're having, it's a issue with your spouse, issue with your children, in-laws, whatever the case. Just getting out into the woods by yourself, for just without people talking, without people bothering you, without phone calls, without YouTube or Facebook or TikTok, without any of that, kind of helps clear your mind. Kind of helps bring yourself back into focus, on what you need to do. And one of the things I haven't done in a while, like I said, a couple months ago I had surgery, and right now I'm just getting myself back into the woods and hiking and exercising again. I was at one time I was out 382 and lost 50 pounds, and then I got kind of told I needed to stop because of the exercising and everything else, and because of because of a hernia, and not to resume it again until after I have the surgery. Well, almost a year, 9 months later, I finally have the surgery, and I'm now ready to go. And of course, after you have surgery, there's a bit of depression because you're laid up in bed for a while and you're restricted even more to what you were before. So I lost 50 pounds and gained 20 back. So now I'm back to trying to lose weight again. And it's gonna be a road. Like I said, I started off at 380, lost 50, gained 20. So I'm at 350 again. And looking forward to getting myself down to where I need to hopefully lose at least another 100 pounds, maybe another 120, 130 pounds. That'll be fantastic. I'll be happy with that. Needs to be done. I think I said it before, my father died of non-alcoholic cirrhosis of the liver. So, time to get back in shape, and coming out in nature is a great place. If you ever read the book called Wild at Heart by John Eldredge, he's a Christian counselor, and he wrote the book. And basically, the book, he talks about the need for men and for boys to be out in nature. And there's something else to think about, when it comes to being out in nature, and how they get themselves locked up in the city life, and they get themselves locked into this way of life that they just, I don't know, it's like they're, your nearest neighbor is 6 inches away on the other side of a wall. Crammed in the middle of these metal tubes and shuffle around a city to go to a job where you're basically just a number. That's really all of our jobs. So, and you do this day after day. Yeah, you go to these little parks in and around, but it's not the same. It's not the same as being out in nature. It's not the same as just trying to adjust this a little bit. It's not the same as throwing on some hiking shoes and tossing a backpack over your shoulder and just go out, have a little bit of food with you and some water, and just get away from people for a little bit. We need to do that from time to time. Get some clarity in life, and drown out the noise. It's a wonderful thing when you can do that. But I'm start walking a little bit more towards the car, and I got some water and coffee in the car. But seriously, we have a need to be out in nature. We have this need to be out in the woods, and we don't do it enough. And I see these podcasters or YouTubers out in the middle of taking walks in these woods and talking. And not all of us are doing that. We're just not. I'm going to encourage you right now, if you're living in the middle of a city, I don't care what part of the world you're in, go out to wherever nature is. Maybe, if nature's a desert, go out in the desert, maybe towards the evening, and just clear up, just clear your head, get away from people. You're living in a more woody area, more foresty area, go out in the woods. If there's a safety issue with some animals, yeah, some of these woods do have predatory animals, large animals. And not far from where I'm at right now, just a few miles down the road, about a month ago, I nearly ran into a bear. And he was booking it across the road. I don't think he was paying attention to me. Ran right in front of me. I almost hit him, and he dove right up underneath the guardrail. I never knew a bear could do that until I saw it. And recently, I've been having, I think like at least once a year, the past 5 years, I've been seeing a bear. And there's also talks of mountain lions, there's coyotes around here. So yeah, around here, you're going to want to have some reasonable protection with you. Never mind the occasional stray dog that went feral. But you need to get out. Clear that head of yours. Pray to God. I mean, the woods are a great place to go and just pray. And clear out your mind and just talk to God. It's a wonderful thing to do. Like I said, this wasn't really a planned video. It seems like some of my videos lately haven't been planned. And if this is your first time watching, don't be afraid to hit that like and subscribe. It helps the algorithm. It helps me out. And I'm just a Christian working class fellow who just wants to talk and try and be an encouragement to people. That's all I want to do. So yeah, hit that like and subscribe, and let's talk. Leave comments. I don't care if you think this is a stupid YouTube channel. I'm just here, just trying to give a little bit of encouragement. Okay. God bless all of you, and until we talk again.